It started with that oddly familiar internet feeling, the kind you get when someone becomes famous for almost nothing, rises at lightning speed, and then crashes even faster, leaving everyone watching in stunned silence. This wasn't just a small stumble or a quiet fade into obscurity. This was a full-blown spectacle. The woman the internet crowned the Tuah girl managed to speedrun an entire rise and fall saga in record time, going from viral sensation to cautionary tale almost overnight. What began as a single sound effect turned into a multi-million-dollar moment, complete with ambitious business ventures, a cryptocurrency that collapsed as quickly as it launched, lawsuits worth millions, public betrayals, and finally a lonely return to the internet, streaming to an audience so small it barely registered. It wasn't merely a downfall, it was a masterclass in mishandling opportunity, burning bridges, and watching an empire crumble in real time. For anyone who somehow missed this whirlwind, her real name is Haley Welch, and she shot to fame in mid-2024 after a street interview clip exploded across social media. The video was unavoidable, pulling in hundreds of millions of views across nearly every platform. Unlike most viral stars who disappear as quickly as they appear, Haley initially seemed to do everything right. She leaned into the momentum, launching a podcast called Tour, booking notable guests, building a loyal audience, and turning attention into income. Brand deals rolled in, merchandise sold, appearances stacked up, and for a brief moment, she looked like one of the rare internet anomalies. A viral star who had cracked the code and transformed fleeting fame into something lasting. Just when it seemed like she had found a legitimate way to turn internet fame into real money, she apparently decided that playing it safe wasn't exciting enough. Instead, she jumped headfirst into the world of cryptocurrency, launching a meme coin called Tuah Coin, fully committing to the viral persona that made her famous. The launch, which took place in December 2022, was nothing short of catastrophic. From the very moment it went live, the coin's value plummeted, collapsing so fast it made historic disasters look graceful by comparison. Within hours, early buyers watched their investments evaporate as the value dropped by more than 90%, leaving people with digital wallets full of regret and assets worth practically nothing. As expected, a collapse that fast didn't go unnoticed. Investors who lost significant amounts of money began demanding answers, and those demands quickly turned into legal action. Multiple buyers filed a class action lawsuit against Haley and her team, accusing them of orchestrating a classic pump-and-dump scheme that benefited the creators while everyday investors were left holding the losses. According to the lawsuit, the coin was marketed as a serious investment opportunity but functioned more like a cash grab dressed up in hype. Allegations include securities fraud, deceptive trade practices, and a long list of financial misconduct, with millions of dollars in damages on the line. And just when it seemed like the situation couldn't get any more chaotic, the story took an even stranger turn. When the lawsuits began stacking up and the pressure closed in, Haley reportedly decided that loyalty was optional. According to leaked information and circulating reports, she began cooperating with investigators and effectively distanced herself from the very team that helped launch the coin. Her defense, allegedly, was that she had merely been the public face of the project and had little understanding of the technical or financial mechanics behind it. In other words, she leaned hard into the narrative of being an accidental participant, just a viral internet personality who never imagined that launching a cryptocurrency required actual expertise, oversight, or ethical responsibility. Whether that explanation holds up in court remains to be seen, but it certainly didn't sit well with her former partners. The people who helped build and promote the coin were reportedly furious, pushing back against her claims and accusing her of rewriting history to save herself. What followed was a messy internal collapse. Infighting, finger-pointing, and everyone scrambling to avoid being the last one standing when the legal consequences arrived. The accusations of snitching only made things worse, turning Haley into a pariah in both influencer and crypto circles. Communities where loyalty, no matter how questionable the circumstances, tends to matter more than morality. With her reputation in ruins, the fallout was immediate and brutal. The podcast that once pulled respectable numbers flatlined almost overnight. Sponsors disappeared, brand deals dissolved, and the influencer lifestyle she had built unraveled at remarkable speed. Desperate for a comeback, she attempted to pivot into streaming, but the move only highlighted how far she had fallen. What was once a promising platform turned into a public reminder of her decline, an empty stage where the audience simply never showed up. In a final attempt to reconnect with whatever audience she had left, Haley recently went live, seemingly hoping to breathe some life back into her career. What she got instead was a painfully quiet reality check. At the peak of the stream, only 9 people were watching. Not 9,000, not 900, just 9 individual viewers. Entirely forgettable live streams routinely pull bigger crowds. People streaming themselves asleep attract more attention. Even a static camera pointed at a fish tank can outperform that level of engagement. And in a way, that lonely live stream perfectly captures how fast and how thoroughly everything unraveled. In the span of a few months, she went from viral internet darling to alleged crypto scammer to someone accused of turning on her own team. The internet, for all its chaos, has a surprisingly long memory, especially when money is involved. Bad opinions can be forgiven. Cringe moments fade. Embarrassing clips eventually get buried. But allegedly scamming your own supporters and then distancing yourself from everyone involved is a stain that's far harder to wash out. The reaction online makes that painfully clear, with the comment sections on her remaining posts serving as a harsh reminder that some reputations, once shattered, don't come back together. The backlash came swiftly and without mercy. Online, she was branded a scammer, a fraud, a snake, and those were the kinder words. Former fans flooded comment sections with screenshots of their losses, while others turned her collapse into memes, treating her like the internet's latest cautionary joke. And for her, the worst part is that this storm isn't going to pass anytime soon. The lawsuits are expected to stretch on for months, maybe even years, with every new development dissected by news outlets. Her name, once tied to a fleeting viral moment, is now permanently linked to allegations of crypto scams and financial deception. Years from now, when someone searches her name, they won't find stories celebrating her rise or debating her cultural impact. They'll find court documents, headlines about lawsuits, and breakdowns of a financial implosion. The situation grows even darker when you consider that civil cases may not be the end of it. If prosecutors decide this wasn't just incompetence but actual fraud, she could be facing criminal charges, real consequences like massive fines, a criminal record, or even prison time. At that point, the influencer chapter doesn't just close, it slams shut, taking any hope of a conventional future with it. What makes the whole saga especially bitter is that she once had a clear, legitimate path forward. She could have kept the podcast going, made appearances, and lived comfortably off her viral fame for years. Instead, through greed, bad advice, or a chain of spectacularly poor decisions, she walked herself straight into financial and legal ruin. Some people will argue she was just a pawn, taken advantage of by people smarter than her, and maybe there's some truth to that. But at a certain point, responsibility can't be dodged. When you put your name and face on a financial product, ignorance stops being an excuse. You don't get to cash the checks and then pretend you had no idea what you were selling when it all collapses. And that's why the image of her streaming to 9 viewers feels almost poetic. It perfectly captures how brutally fast the internet can turn. She went from millions of views and endless attention to literal single digits in a matter of months. That isn't just a fall from grace, it's a free fall into irrelevance. So sudden and complete, it barely gave anyone time to look away.